Shots from the Hip presents Sports Movie Reviews. Here are Jason and Oz.
I like that groove.
That's really short. Here are Jason and Oz right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this movie. All right. So, Jason, I think this was in about the third hour of our production meeting, suggested that we do a movie that I haven't seen, and I was kind of hurt by this because I've seen every movie. Do you think I have an ulterior motive on these things? I've seen every sports movie. Actually,
I believe it.
I have a sports movie that I had downloaded some time ago, but just never got around to watching. The name of the movie is 11 Men Out. This is, of course, the fourth in the series that began with 8 Men Out. No, I'm joking. Not really. There is no 9 Men Out. There is no 10 Men Out. There is only 11 Men Out and 8 Men Out. But here's 11 Men Out. Now, a very quirky little film from Iceland. Actually, a very simple idea, but one that I think would play really well in the current American social climate. Basically, the kick of the movie is we start with Ottar Thor. How about that, huh? You got to love Thor as a last name, especially for an athlete. My God, what a great name. Played by, I'm not even sure who. Let's see. I'm told that the main actor is Bjorn Haraldsson. This movie stars a lot of people that you've never heard of, unless for some reason you're up on your Icelandic movies. But basically it begins with Ottar playing with so-called KR. Now, you don't really need to know about KR. I happen to know that this is the team in Icelandic soccer, based in Reykjavik, really the only big city in the country. And so he's a stud for that team. Seems to be pretty tired of playing with the team. And one day, in order to generate some publicity, essentially, basically announces that he is gay. All right. Now, the portrayal of Icelandic society and just mentality is very macho, right? It's very Viking. It's very old world. In short, they're not having it. All right. So this announcement essentially immediately gets him kicked off the team, despite the fact that he's probably one of the best players in the country. Gets him kicked off the team. And it's funny, he meets with this friend of his who is a coach of a second division team. Now, just imagine second division in Iceland. Okay. This is a country that competes in international sports at something called the Micronations Games. Okay. It's a small country. All right. So this poor guy goes, meets his friend who's coaching a second division team. And he's brought to the team by the coach saying, yeah, you should come check us out. We've got a couple of guys who are sort of gay. And so our hero says, wait a minute, what do you mean sort of gay? And then his friend says, well, they're actually gay. I just love this. This was one of my favorite bits of dialogue in the film. And there's actually quite a few moments like this where the dialogue is just so sharp and just really funny. They hit you with a very funny punchline on a lot of these jokes. Well, eventually what happens with our intrepid third division team is more and more outside players, gay players, hear about what's going on this team. Hey, they have 3 gay guys. Hey, they have 4, now 5. And so eventually this becomes the team of homosexual football players in Iceland, thus 11 Men Out. By the end of the movie, this isn't much of a spoiler, but by the end of the movie, they've renamed the team Pride United, which is a fantastic team name. And let me tell you, I don't know what you thought, but in the last match, right, the climactic final match of the movie, those are some of the sweetest uniforms I've ever seen. Those are some
I would
dope.
agree.
They have the players have black uniforms, white collars, white trim, and then within the white trim on the sleeves and on the front is a prism, is a rainbow on top of the white splash, right? The goalie, his shirt, his jersey is just the prism going across. Fantastic. Royal Retros has got to get these. Man, I want one. I cannot find one online, but that is some of the sweetest looking soccer jerseys I've ever seen. Not based on a true story, unfortunately. And since this is Iceland, I'm sure that this is pretty hard to find. But I swear to God, I'm going to find one of these jerseys because they are sweet. Now, it sounds like I haven't described much of the movie, but that's pretty much it. It's actually a pretty simple film.
Yeah.
And this is actually the kind of thing that I would like to see out of Hollywood. Hollywood, the TV industry, I guess you would call it the streaming industry. These days, of course, in America, we're very big on so-called representation. The problem I often have with representational stuff is that it's often square peg, round hole kind of stuff, right? You're forcing the issue. But this is actually a story where the issues of, being an LGBTQ person, fighting a very old world mentality, just in everyday life was really, really, really well done. It's not over the top. There's not really an agenda behind this film. I honestly believe that this movie is just telling a story. It's not this kind of American, you must accept all people. It's not that kind of message here. The message is really just, it seems to be just about this guy who wants to play football. And so I really enjoyed it. This is not a blockbuster. This is not Sinners. It's but wow, it's just a nice low budget sports movie. So I don't know, what did you think?
Well, I want to direct you towards a new TV series recently.
Oh yes,
called Heated Rivalry,
right?
Which is all the rage right now. I personally haven't seen it, but it's all
I've
the
never
rage
heard
right
of it.
now. It's what?
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm listening to sports betting podcasts and they're talking about this show. It's just
no, this movie, while I liked the movie in general and overall, it was difficult for me to follow because, of course, it's in Icelandic language, and the subtitles on my screen were at times too fast for me. I don't know if I'm just a slower reader than I thought, or if the particular track that I had for some reason sped through the subtitles. So I found it hard to focus on the actual movie because I was trying to read so fast and trying to read so careful. I also find it difficult when I'm reading subtitles to know who's speaking because I'm looking at the subtitles and not at the people on the screen. Nonetheless, I got the gist of the movie. Definitely some subplots in there that we don't want to spoil, but there's a couple subplots in there that are typical of this type of plot line. I'm curious about the behaviors and mannerisms, though, of the characters in this movie. Are Icelandic people really as blunt and rude to each other as this movie portrays?
Yeah. How about that, huh? How about that? Talk about your low context culture, man. These people, I don't know if this is indicative of Icelandic people. Again, there's like literally there's less than 1 million people in this country.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there's got to be some element of there's no reason to bullshit, right? We don't have any illusions here. I mean, everybody knows everybody else. In fact, one of the interesting things about Icelandic culture is you may have noticed the names of the stars in this movie. Okay, here's a few of them. It's like Bjorn Haraldsson, Lila Do, what is it? Thorainsdottir, etc., etc. What most people do in Iceland is this. If you're a man, your first name is whatever, David. Your second name is your father's name plus son at the end, right? For women, it's your name, then your mother's name plus dottir, daughter, at the end, right? The crazy thing is this. Now, of course, everybody has cell phones, but back in the day of phone books, in Iceland, the phone book goes by your first name, right? So in order to find me, and it probably still works the same with public records. And so in order to find me, you have to first look under David and then go to my last name. Right. And so, and so there's this weird thing about lineage, right? Because again, this is all about lineages of families, right? If you know the guy, you know his father, then you can know his father because of the last name, and so on, all the way back up to the Vikings, right? So there is that element to it. But yeah, I was thinking about that too, because the dialogue is very stark. There is no messing around, right? These people really say what they think. Part of it too is that the straight guys, the heterosexuals in this movie, the men, come off really badly. Really badly. I mean, they're mostly like macho, sexist pigs. Mostly. I mean, this poor guy, our hero's sister-in-law, is basically the picture of marital repression. This poor woman. So there was that element, but I don't know. I liked it. The thing about the subtitles is, first of all, again, this is a very low budget movie. It's a very small country movie. And so you get the feeling that the subtitles were done in-house and somewhat rapidly. But there is also, I noticed that several times, there was that element of, like the old Godzilla movies, where you get the guy going, "It's Godzilla."
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Right. Where you get that. And there was a lot of that where, the dialogue was like, and then you get "no" was your subtitle. So there was a lot of that. However, the storyline and the dialogue is not so complicated that I couldn't follow it.
No.
I watch a lot of movies with subtitles anyway. But for example, the bits when the club management is having meetings, and some of the dialogue there is just fantastic. What are we going to do? Maybe we should have an anti-gay clause in all future contracts. I mean, at that point, the subtitles are a little bit off, but you kind of get it. You get the sentiment. So I'm sorry you're a little bit thrown by that because
hey, no worries.
Because I don't know. For me, the movie it's a very short movie, and again, it's very low budget. It's not super heavy, but yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Plus, how often do you see an Icelandic movie?
This is true. Yeah. There's probably more.
Right. And oh, definitely. Yeah. And the thing is, one of the things I thought that was funny is this movie is not going to do a lot for tourism. Okay. Look, it's Iceland. Okay. And in Iceland, literally, it rains 330 days a year. No joke. No joke. And in this movie, wow, it's always overcast, if not raining, if not pouring, you know. So in this respect, Iceland doesn't look so great, but I don't know. It's still on my bucket list. This is still one of
Yeah.
the places I would really like to go. Um, Again, I just thought it was an interesting movie in that it is a sports movie, but really the main point wasn't necessarily about sports. It was still a nice character drama.
Hmm.
And plus, you got to love the ending. And also, please, the single best line in the movie is the last one. All right. The movie ends like a good sports movie where they go out and they're playing, you know, the most important game and whatever, and you don't actually see the result of the game. Actually, you do see the result of the game. You don't see the game itself. But yeah, they go out, they're playing the game, everybody cheers, and this movie does an interesting thing because on the low budget, very often, you don't actually see a soccer match, you just hear it. Right, like very at the very beginning of the film there's this very interesting bit where they show our hero scoring a goal, dunk, and then yay, and then they kick off again, but then you hear the game and all you see is the goalie on the other end, right? And I just thought it was really wild because yeah, nobody ever watches the goalie when the action is on the other end of the field. Right. So I thought it was an interesting way to play that and to get around the budget constraints of this movie. But they go out, they do the final game, and you hear the cheering and stuff like this. And then they cut and they start the credits. Well, after the first few credits, there's one more scene where they show you what happened in the movie. And then there's they show you what happened in the game, in the big match. And then the last line of the movie is the funniest because it really brings home, you know, just sports, you know, what is so, there are no miracles, let's say. In real sports, there are no miracles, let's say, is the point. But yeah, just for that last bit, I mean, I was really enjoying the movie, and then that last credit scene comes on. I was just like, this is brilliant. It's an excellent, excellent line. Excellent.
I did not see that because as soon as the credits started rolling, I shut it off.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's right. It's only like about 30 seconds, a minute into the credits.
Oh.
So please go back and look at it. It lasts like 10 seconds. It's one joke. And it's really the best line in the movie. Is that last line. You got to see it. It's awesome. See that, and then next week you can tell me what you thought.
So now, if we wanted to tell hipsters to go and watch this movie, where can they find it? Where did you find it so easily?
That's a good question. I just downloaded it. This movie,
just search for it, I guess, wherever you can.
20 years old. Let's see. Actually, I meant to do this before the show.
2005, I think it said.
Yeah, I've been a little bit under the weather, so I did not prepare for this. Let's see. It seems to be available on YouTube, but only with Russian subtitles. So, okay, I see that it's here on a site called Here TV.
Oh,
I don't know. I've never used that, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can get it from Amazon, if you would like. Prime Video may have it. I can't quite tell. It may be on Amazon.
Hipsters will just have to search for it, I guess. Wherever you can find it.
I'll see if I can. Well, it's definitely at the Amazon.com in Belgium, if that helps anybody. But what I will do is I will try and find some good connections for either next week's show, or we can put it into the show notes.
Yeah.
Where to find this movie. It's worth a look. It's worth a look.
I'd give it 4 stars.
Sure.
Out of 5.
Nice little film. Like I say, interesting look at Icelandic culture. Okay, I have it here on Amazon Prime at $3.99.
Oh,
$4 to rent. $4 to rent. That's $4 well spent. That's pretty nice little movie.
After you're done shopping at Royal Retros, just head on over to Amazon.
You get that 10% off. That'll save you at least $4.
There you go.
You go check out the 11 Men Out.